Welcome everyone. This is our introduction call about the Money Detox course that we are about to start on October 15th. And we are doing this call to give you some details, what we're going to be covering, and to see if you have some concrete questions that we can answer so that it's clear and beautifully flowing as a process. So I'm
to give a little background how this even came about, it's really we keep having very similar questions about what is money, what is wealth, how can I bring more of that in my life, all kinds of fears, and we have such a database of where and what can go wrong in this question that we decided, okay, let's answer those questions all in one, and let's dwell in this learning about what is money, what is wealth, what is abundance, what is prosperity. Let's dwell in it and actually understand it once and for all.
Yes, and the point that we like to make, sorry, the point that we want to make is we want to take a look at the regular way how we look at it, but also from the other side as money being just the flow of energy. If you look at it from that perspective, it becomes more like psychological and energetic unit that we work with. And the conclusions that we draw through this way of interacting with it are really kind of stunning. So I hope it's going to be helpful for everyone to take at it from that perspective.
So demystifying, understanding the energetics, understanding the practicalities, and most importantly, how it all weaves together. Because we have noticed over the years that people, well, for lack of overall information, people tend to solve the question either on a physical or either an energetic level, but it rarely comes together. So if there's one thing we can really offer is the perspective from both sides and how it works hand in hand.
Yes. So the journey will be 8 weeks. It might sound like a long period, but the first thing that we want to share with you guys is that the perspectives that we're going to be covering are twofold. One side of it is going to be for each of the participants separately. We will look into their inner world and where their personal interaction with money is blocking the full flow. And of course, we have those, as we know, from childhood, from the country where we have been born. We have these notions as money doesn't grow on the trees. We have our particular things that we bring from our parents. So we have to look at these sides separately from the other one. What each one of us brings as a gift from our ancestors that are interfering with what we want to achieve. The other side is collective. And there we're going to do some collective work that is generational and also inbuilt in the concept of how the money has been put together. And then we will go even further to kind of understand that any flow of energy through us is regulated by how open we are on that collective level and on our personal level. So we have to look at it from both sides. So Evia maybe has a little bit more of a detail about this one.
Yeah, so where we want to pay attention is acknowledging that each of us comes from a very different setup. We have our personal kind of relationship encoded in our astrology, in the culture. So we do have a cultural karma, family karma, cultural, even a surname karma, because I will bring at some point Vittorio's surname, which also encodes some kind of really prominent work that needs to be done for...
Well, let's share it right now. My surname in Serbian means stingy. So by family name, I have already, like there's some block that has been built in that I had to work very, very deeply to open the stinginess that comes from the place that I never asked for from my father's family.
Yeah, and when it's encoded that openly, well, of course, it's a direct message, but
Like Uncle Scrooge.
yeah. So we will take into consideration, we will really shine light on where and the variety of places where the blockages could be, and they're there only to be transmuted. Some of us come with more of them, less of them. For someone, just a little belief work might be enough to completely unlock the flow. For some, it's interdimensional kind of obstacles. So we will highlight all what's possible. And the advantage of the live call, we have real people with real kind of energetic setup. So we'll give the guidance for everyone personally on this, let's say, what we call the individual prosperity code, which means the number of obstacles to overcome and the let's say the number of possibilities that open as a result. Like some people are trying to get rich, but actually it's not meant in their design. They're meant to focus on some other things. And as we saw very recently in a friend's case, the lack of money pushes in some sort of extraordinary new solutions that wouldn't be possible if she could pay for what she wants to. So this is the really the advantage to have a clarity around what's your base settings, what's your potential, and where you're at exactly.
So from the get-go, we are seeing every participant of the course with their shadow aspect in this question and their shining aspect, like full flow aspect of this. And then we are going through the process where we actually go from that shadow to the pure expansion. And it is an inner process. And as Evia says, it is very important that this is done in a group. Even if you cannot make it to those live calls, as long as you participate within the day of the original call, the group will hold this energy because those transmutations will be part of the group transmutations, and they will be super empowered by the collective energy of the group that we will set up at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's always something very magical happens because one person's problems are solution for someone else. So this group intelligence that comes together and actually everyone can relate to everyone else. It's that's the synchronicities, and we're very much counting on the synchronicities to highlight corners we couldn't even think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
And I would also like to add that you know us, we're a little bit kind of anti-mainstream thinking in many questions, and so we will continue in this way. So we do not say that this course is about you will suddenly have all the wealth in the world, but what we will have is a good laugh and understanding of how it works. So our job is not your results, because they will depend on exactly you and the level of your integration, but our work is to show and explain how it works. And it's way less mystical than we think and way less random. It's very precise, but you need to know, because some things cannot be guessed. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of partial information. Okay, let's give a concrete example. So we hear a lot in some all kinds of circles about manifestation and abundance and calling in abundance. But do we really know who is calling what in when you're calling in abundance? Do you know really and exactly? Because when we're calling in something, it's an act of Like you don't randomly order on Amazon things that you don't really know what it is, and not, you're not sure when you'll get it and how. So the
Yeah,
same
you don't
level,
order the book just by the name.
yeah, or you don't order just a book, right? You don't go to Amazon to order a book. You order something very specific. So when calling in things, well, we need to be as specific as in real life. And sometimes it just doesn't work, and the hope keeps us going. Maybe next time, maybe soon, I've done this, and maybe it's all going to come in. But if we're missing the crucial ingredient, which in most of our cases is we forget to land it in the body, exactly nothing is going to happen. And we keep spinning the hope and attempts in our mind, and it never lands in a physical dimension. So how to join the body in calling in whatever, how to make those dreams actually happen, how to know if what you have asked for is actually on the way. Well, this is what we will look up in detail in one of the weeks.
So the parallel of this could be, do we have the switchboard with no wires that actually connect to the actual engine? So when we are switching things on and off, nothing happens, or it is properly wired. So when we connect those switchboards, the actual lights are turning on and off. So it is literally this: are the switches connected to the actual lights on the other side or not? So in our work, we make sure that this is clear, that what we do in maybe invisible realm has immediate results, or we declare that it doesn't work. So it has to have practical results. Otherwise, we don't even consider it.
And how do you know that it's wired? Well, the light comes on when you press the switch. So that's how it is. So the general feeling that we want to really transmit is that to get out of confusion, second guessing, because that's where we lose a lot of energy in trying to, without really understanding the mechanics. So that's where the work will be done on the understanding part and the general practicing. Because if we focus on a question for 8 weeks, well, believe me, it comes to the surface on the top of everything else, and things start happening really fast because we're just paying attention to that area of our lives.
Yeah. So I know that some of you have limited time for being on this call. So if you have some questions, we can start with those, and then we can add some questions that we have received from the people who couldn't make it. So do you have some practical questions that you would like to ask about it?
No, not so much a question, but just more like just a little bit of clarification on like the structure, how you kind of see, you mentioned the calls, how long would the call be, and roughly, is it mostly discussion? Is there some kind of practice, meditation, or what roughly, do you kind of see the breakdown of each session being?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's an 8-week process, and the way how it's structured is that we have weekly calls that are between 90 minutes and 2 hours, depending on the session. So around 90 minutes each Saturday. In that period, we have a combination of sharing a perspective and actually doing a practical work. So we make it a point to do the actual work during the sessions as well. And then you get the material that you will be working on during that week within this particular topic. So it will include tools, meditations, some worksheets, and actual personalized and group work that you will be required to do during this week to actually embody what has been covered at the session.
Yeah, and we have selected very, very interesting exercises, their experiences. There's nothing to feel on paper. It's very experiential, which will reveal exactly where you're at and show you without too much words. So the point is, we will not tell you how we got there, but we will show you how you can get there. Yeah, so it will be centered around each individual. And so let's say the point that we'll bring each week will be followed by exercises and, you know, explanation and practical tools, what you can do, and the fun part. But also week by week, we will give you a personal feedback about your particular design, because what we're building towards is this, you know, I found it really fun to have your personal wealth code at the end, which is, you know, which is a commitment to this full integrated flow of any resources in your life. It's way beyond money. Yeah. So we speak about money because we're fixated on money, but actually it's anything, any kind of resources in your life. So that is the part that will weave through the live calls, and nothing will happen if you miss one or two, if you follow up with the information. But it's actually quite fun to be in the process.
So you will end up with a personal code, wealth code, that is particular for each and every one of you. So with this, you will have changed your wiring in your energetic body. So after the course, you will be different than you have entered the course. And this is literally on our side very measurable.
Yeah, because the way the material is structured, it will go all the time simultaneously through the level of the mind, the level of emotions, and the level of body. So it's like absolutely integrated perspective. It's not just information, or it's not. There's a bit of alchemy and magic as always, because we love it, but it's fully going through all the layers.
And alchemy just meaning that you are actually changing your inner, almost like body chemistry around the particular issue. This is what it means. It's nothing mystical. It is the actual process that changes your vibration when you encounter the question of money, the question of wealth, the questions that we will be covering. Your whole system will react differently than it reacts now at the beginning of the course. This is called alchemical transmutation.
Exactly. And by the way, you don't even have to have an issue. You might be like good friends with money already, so you do not need to have an issue to solve it. But what you can find is really a kind of calm certainty about how it works.
And one more thing that we wanted to add is that where we are heading as the humanity, if it goes how, you know, those who are concentrated towards the light and towards evolution win over, is that we are getting out of this connection that there is limited amount of money. Even now, there is not really limited amount of money. There are billions and trillions that flow in computer systems, but it will be even more. Every one of us will be connected to full abundance of, like, full flow of money without thinking about the survival. So the next question will be, when there is so much of it that we have enough, such as plants have sun, what would we do then? And what would be our obstacles when it flows in unlimited amount? What is our obstacle towards creating reality that we want to create? So we are collectively going towards no limitations. And we want to make that each and every one of you and us is prepared for the no limitations future. And if there's anything on the way of that, we will address it.
And that is a particular frequency. So when you learn to where is that frequency within yourself and how to dwell there and how to be there, well, then you're ready for what's next. What's the society beyond money, or beyond the limitations.
Yeah.
So Tom, any last question before you have to jump off?
No, that's great. Yeah, it sounds super exciting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave now. But I'll catch the rest of the session on the recording. So yeah, thanks very much, and yeah, good to meet you guys. I'll see you around, I'm sure. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Tom. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe
how
some
about
other
you guys?
questions?
Any questions?
Yes.
Gidika also unmuted, so I mean, as you want, you can go first. I can go first, whatever. I think you mentioned in the Telegram channel, so that let me just check it. You said, do these guys know what they're talking about? I think that's an interesting part for me. Like personally, I don't really have a big problem attracting money, I think, but I also worked on that topic before. It's just like I reach certain limits, you know, like it's sometimes it's almost ironic. Like I have, I don't know, like one bank account and it doesn't go over a certain amount. There's always something coming where you have to pay some bills or whatever. So, and one other thing for me is that it almost feels like it's never enough. You know, like it wouldn't matter if it's 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, it feels like it's never enough. So, but yeah, but still coming back to the question you sent in the Telegram channel. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit on this one.
Definitely.
Of
Beautiful
course.
question. Thank you, Frank. I can talk about the part of it's never enough. And the part of it's never enough, it might be, we will measure your particular case, but it might be that it comes from that place of it's never enough because for complete security, we need even more. So we will see from where it comes, because the normal state of things in future will be there is unlimited amount. So you don't have to think what's enough. You have as much as you want. So what do you do when you really have as much as you want? And if we are able to get there now and open those paths that enable you to kind of see, okay, well, I'm ready for unlimited amounts of money and wealth in my life. Well, then the stress around enough can melt away and not really reflect in your accounts. Then it's going to be possible for it to be whatever you might wish or need, or you know, just you let it flow as, for example, waves in the sea. We don't kind of have enough or not enough waves. They're just kind of always there.
Mm-hmm. And the other practical question will be, how much are you able to hold within your system, within your body? What is the amount beyond which your system gets scared of the responsibility and, you know, what might come with it? And this is, we will very much focus on this particular aspect. How body is scared to have money, actually, because, you know, it has memories of being traumatized as a result of this. But yeah, do we know what we're talking about? Well, we have studied this question for many years under every possible light, and we have gathered many opinions. We've been with all kinds of people and very much observing how things work until it actually clicked, the mechanism clicked. We have tried things that don't work until we get things that do work. But we're very careful to not map our experience onto anyone, because our experience came from, you know, so much trial and error. We have amazing lives. I mean, I'm in French Riviera, we're traveling, we're living all over the world. So we're very free people in every possible way. We can afford to, the main wealth actually is that we can afford to have experiences that we desire without any limitation. And this, if anything, we would like to transmit you the possibility like a week ago on Monday, we went to San Pellegrino spa on Monday. Just took the car, drove the whole way, and then we popped in to see friends, and then we, you know, do this. So having the daily life under your own terms, I think for me, that's the main factor of wealth. But do you accept it? Are you ready for that level of freedom? Or there's something telling it can't be true, it's too good, you're lazy, you don't deserve, you know. What we spend years doing is silencing every voice that told us that this is not possible, so that we can calmly sit, go to the beach on Tuesday morning because we can. And not because we have inherited the huge amounts of money, but because we've designed our life this way. So
Yeah.
if any qualification, our lifestyle is one, and that's what we can share with you.
Well, that's San Pellegrino being in a context that we have just arrived from Bali, which where we live part of the year, and then, you know, had the sailing, and then spent some time in France, then went to San Pellegrino, then went to the magical community of Damanhur, then Evia is now in France, I'm visiting my parents, and then we are back to Bali. It's literally, and it's not because we love to travel so much, it is just, this is really the most magical way
Of
to
using our life
we
energy.
see it now, and on our way to actually expand whoever else is in our field to actually bring those options in their life. Because if you have those options, you can as well act on them or not. But it's going to be your choice and not choice of some outside factors. And this is, yeah, as Evia says, our lifestyle and our life choices speak for themselves, including the partnership in which we are and creating everything together. Mm-hmm. So this is part of our choice to actually create everything as a couple from this place of balance of polarities. Mm-hmm. Of course, observing how the reality reacts to what we are doing and adjusting as we go. So it's really surfing the reality. And it's really amazing. It is beautiful surfing journey.
Mm-hmm. And well, for me, the concrete proofs are that my children are starting to have their magical realities happening, and they know that they're creating them. It's not happening by coincidence. With this kind of guidance, they have understood that they can bend the reality in a way that it serves them rather than disempowers.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And yeah, what you said with all those thoughts which you had to like look at. I mean, I know there are a million ones, you know, like there's so much stuff like mind chatter, and as you said, like exactly those things. Like, okay, you're now in French Riviera on a Tuesday, and like exactly this thing. Like, once you have that, to not have those thoughts running that, oh, I have to be busy or I have to do something, you know, because otherwise I don't know, like I should do more or I should earn more, like those programs. Yeah. No, thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah, very welcome. Exactly, those thoughts. The thoughts are guarding almost like impossibility. So yes.
They're like flies, they won't go away. They won't go away until you spray them dead.
Well, yeah, until you change the place from which you are acting, and then they don't have a need anymore to ask those questions because it's clear. Yeah. Thank you for the question. Gitika, you also.
Hi, I wanted to add something. So obviously, you know, at this stage, and I think most of the people that I've seen part of the group and join the calls are already at a higher awareness of patterns, of stories, of limitations, things like that. And, you know, we've kind of, a lot of us have already done work or a part of that journey with you. And I think what I like, so most of it is a comment, but I think what I like is the personalized touch, because, you know, in larger concepts, the theory is understood about, you know, how money represents the ability to flow, engagement, you know, your how you're willing to kind of jump into life, receive life, give life, and things like that. But we all, like you said, come with our own unique toolbox of issues. And I think I like the fact that if you're going to be focused and offer us a little more individualized understanding of our own particular story, what we've come with, what our obstacles are, and how we can get out of there. I think that's really empowering and more needed today versus the overall theory, you know. So that's what attracts me when I heard you introduce the call. And I just wanted, so I assume that is a big part of it, right? Like that personalized understanding and journey.
Yeah, because that's why we say we will not tell you how we got there, because we got there in a way that was in our design. And, you know, that's why anyone who writes the book of how to get wealthy, well, it's not everyone who reads the book that will get wealthy, because their design is different. Only those who match the exact profile of the one who gave the advice. Let's say structure yourself. Someone who is not Virgo will not be able to structure themselves in any way. They're just not meant to. Or someone coming with huge karma, or, you know, the surname thing, it's not meant to work like that. So highlighting, giving the field where to dig, pointing where exactly, giving the spade, and watching over the process. So that's the angle. But also I have to say that in this we will speak about something we have never shared before. We're somehow keeping it on the side, but the theory, even the theory, is something that you won't hear in any mainstream how to get rich page. It's very different. It's very holistic approach. So you might even enjoy things that you think you know, because of the way how it connects. There'll be some big, you know, like looking to the sky and, oh my God, I did not see that.
And to answer your question, Gitika, definitely it's going to be very personalized. So we will look into everybody's personal journey to liberating these aspects and work with every person personally, so that it is open according to your particular design and not one size fits all, because it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in our philosophy, we're doing this because we're having so much fun, and, you know, we want to share.
And we want you guys to have fun with us, really, so that we can do these things together. I can add one more question that
I mean, I think without doubt, I think what you just described as a way of living and life and materializing is what everyone wants and you know, wishes to and aspires to. And I think you know, figuring out whatever our little blocks are or whatever our nooks are is going to be an interesting journey. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you know, the truth is that it is just a thought away, really. But that thought, to get to that purity of thought with no interferences, well, that's what the journey is going to be about.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Gitika. I will add the question that we had from someone who is not on the call, and the question was whether the course is going to cover the personal aspects of the working with money that she says that she has been through, or more something where we interact between bigger projects and bigger companies, which is more of her current focus right now. So which one of the two? So I think Evia has a nice perspective about that.
Yeah, well, the question was exactly about, so will we cover, let's say, what is money, wealth in communities, let's say in a family setting, in a collectivity, in a village, in a country, I don't know, any kind of collective of people, and how to bring prosperity in there. So, and what we have to say about that there is no really such thing as how to bring prosperity in a community, because communities consists of individuals and of their mindsets, of their beliefs, of their readiness to embody money. So sometimes you see that there are those like big aids, helps that go to people and they cannot absorb it. You know, they just don't know, they do not have capacity to integrate it in a productive ways, and it seems like it's, you know, going nowhere. And what we will cover is how the collective that is made out of individuals that are blocking the wealth, how that collective will always stay poor. Let's say, you know, you have a take 100 people with a scarcity mindset, and you'll get an association that lives on donations and, you know, and never gets anywhere. Take 100 people with expanded mindset, and you'll get, I don't know, the millionaires club. So there is no such thing as how can we raise money for a collective that's not ready for it. But there's understanding how the money can be empowering or disempowering for people that you want to direct it to. And it's a very overlooked aspect in general.
So the way how we deal with groups of people is by looking at each individual and actually adjusting their particular misalignments and kind of allowing them to open up for the free flow of wealth. Mm-hmm. So exactly how we're going to do in this group. So this group, this course is going to be almost like a modeling of adjustment of a collective. So that's maybe the right answer, is we will show it right through this course, how it's done with the collective.
Mm-hmm. And how somebody's limited mindset in a collective actually can stop the whole flow for the collective. I still remember this example of one like famous spiritual teacher that had a secretary with a little limited mindset. And he was announcing courses and putting the prices, and she said, this is too much, and you shouldn't be putting such high price. And as a result, no one, no one's signed up. Everybody discussed the price and this and that. And actually, as soon as he changed the secretary to someone who had no even opinion about the price, not only people did not discuss it, but came and were happy to pay whatever it costs. So being mindful that these limitations around us can also be an obstacle. You might be completely fine, but how do you get someone next to you that stops the flow before it comes to you? And that's another angle that will be looked at.
Yeah, so this is specifically very important when we are trying to start, or to run a company, and there is like the board of directors that consists of 3 or 5 people, how they all influence each other by their own limitations without actually saying anything out loud. Their field of how they perceive the reality interacts in the company, and then as a whole, this board of director group has the certain quality of being able to flow with the abundance or not. So whoever is forming, like the easiest example is the marriage. There are 2 people and their mutual limitations are completely determining how their family is going to look like. We can look as a company as a marriage of several people who are all bringing their limitations and their gifts together, and they mix in some sort of stew, so to speak. So we really have to understand each and every member's particular setting in order to make a really clear, nutritious soup. Otherwise, it's going to be unknown and mixed randomly with everybody's ingredients that are half conscious. So this is definitely something that we will be seeing through the course, how the whole group is slowly going to raise in power.
And the only way that the group can raise in power if one understands how it works in the group and can adjust the situation around. It's a frequency. It's completely a frequency. Is your radio station prevailing or somebody else's radio stations are prevailing? And learning how to, where is that frequency, how it feels, what happens on it, how to stay there. Well, that's the big deal. And then, you know, and then the money eventually becomes the background question because it is no longer a question. Yeah.
So do we have any other questions to cover? Anything else that comes to mind?
Like, I mean, I saw the sign up page or like for the course, and there was also, you sent another message that if you are in this Empower Up, then there's a different price. I'm not yet in this Empower Up. I also saw the price for this one. It's just Fridays are not really working for me when you did the calls like previously. So I assume it's like if you're in this Empower Up as a member, it's a somehow reduced price, but I didn't really find any information. So I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, that is exactly true. I'll just say, and then you give the practical details. Actually, the Empower House app, it's not only for the light up gatherings. Of course, given the nature of what we do now on Fridays, we cannot put it on YouTube. So that's a safe space where we can store it technically, but also there's a wealth of information and we'll be growing it as we go. And there will be many different offerings coming in other times of the week, facilitated by other people. So it's something that's evolutive and growing. And well, mathematically, your advantage is to sign up to Empower House
Yeah.
anyways, and you know, visit it. You can is a high quality information, all super verified. Live events will be coming soon, and it will grow with time. And it is an advantage to sign up through as an Empower House member, because you get the 20% discount on this and other courses over time.
Okay.
Yeah. So the idea behind Empower House, and I will send you the intro video that we have done for that, is really to gather people who empower each other in every spheres of their life. And then at some point having joint experiences and really co-creating an internet that is, you know, only quality information that is selected by people who I trust. So no junk, just amazing, uplifting and inspiring stuff.
Yeah, and it's not us having an app, it's like us, two of us, it's all together, and everyone is very welcome to contribute to really share something that's of value to everyone else. And like Gitika, you know, your story of Navaratri that you sent me on a private message, why don't you share it there? It's such a, you know, in this light, it's very interesting to see the feminine empowerment through the goddess, from that perspective, filtered through you. Because an Indian text on a blog I can probably find by myself, but we are the people who filter it for others, and this is how we empower each other with you know, information, advice, anything.
I'll share that. But just to add, because I'm a member of the Empower app, I think it's a nice like a safe house. It's a nice feeling to just be in the company of people. I mean, there are, you can be on Facebook groups and so many other groups everywhere, but I think this is really intimate, and you know that each one is kind of in some way verified and there for the same purpose, and not just checking things out, but is really committed to the journey. And I think that for me is what I've enjoyed as well. And so I enjoy being part of the app and the group. So.
Exactly, and it's there to grow. We wanted for 2 years. We're starting to we were trying to come up with something bigger and complex and already all kind of furnished. And then we said, you know what, let's do it the right way. Let's just start somewhere and let all of us grow it to how we want it to be. Well, we digress a little bit from the topic, but yes,
Well,
join in, and then we will apply a special price. There's another page for Empower House members that will be sent out. Just reach out through private message or something, and you'll be sent another sign-up page.
Yeah, thank you.
Type your email here in the chat, and I will send you immediately how to join the Empower House, and then how to join this course through Empower House.
I think you already sent it in the Telegram chat. I think I clicked on it. Empower House posts, and then the pop-up was coming regarding like you need to join first. That's why I asked. So it's fine. And also, I mean, I also know, or I have an idea which people are in the app, or like I mean, yeah, I know from the codes before. So I'm definitely, I know that it's not like junk or like this huge number of people. So yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and we love and cherish every single one of them because we really believe in this collective empowerment for the future, and keeping that vibe alive.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very welcome. Any last words, Evie, that we maybe haven't shared yet that you can think of?
I would say for those who are questioning yes or no, is it expensive? Is it useful? Is it this or that? If you have questions, better don't. This is a call from the heart. Either it falls like right on your plate and you say, wow, what a synchronicity, or it's not your time and you can come back to it later. This is a really like a one-time bus that comes, opens the door. If you feel like all jump in, you don't need you don't need to know where you're going. You're going with us. That's what counts. And if you trust enough that we will get you somewhere, what exactly you'll get out of the journey, you'll discover in the journey. It's not that much of a destination that is important, but what you will see on the way. So our bus is coming, first stop, opening the door, 15th of October. If you feel the pull to hang out with us, to join in, to just, be very, very loose and free in your mind and explore and enjoy, that's for you. If you need reasons, we're not on that vibe of giving reasons. It works differently. So that's it. Very simple.
The bus is here, doors are open. Welcome.
You might as well take a risk and jump in. It would be a pleasure.
I mean, for me, it was like I saw, I don't know if I saw the email first or the message in the Telegram chat, and I looked at it like Money Detox, and I was like, okay, that's like I need to join. So yeah, don't worry. I mean, it's not. I'm not. I don't need to be convinced. So and
so
actually,
mm-hmm.
and it's exactly, I think, exactly what I need. Like also, I mean, I've done a lot of work around it, but yeah. So for me, it's fine. I don't need to be convinced. I don't need reasons. So.
Well, fantastic. You've got your synchronicity. So all welcome. And in this mood that we're going to play and work and discover and do and yeah, spend some quality time together for the next 8 weeks. So see you then in the bus. Yeah, whoever jumps in. And thank you
Let's go to the magical journey together.
for coming. And also big hugs to those who watch later, sending you some beautiful sunshine and sea vibes.
Yeah. So see you all, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. See you
Thank
all
you.
on October 15th, Saturday. Big hug.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.